and welcome to Find Your Alpha podcast. I'm Buki Oloyede, and I've got with me on the seat today, Flora Uwadiegwu. Did I pronounce that right?
You did.
Oh,
Perfect.
awesome. So, as we do on Find Your Alpha podcast, we're talking to different people. We're having different conversations around technology, around innovation, filmmaking, photography. And it's a different conversation today because I'm speaking to a co-founder of a Women in Tech nonprofit organization. And I'm going to let her tell me everything that she does, why this cause is so important to her, and then why, of course, we should be focusing on women in technology. So,
Yes.
Flora,
Yes, thank
what's
you
the name
so
of your
much.
organization?
It's called WeTech Women Foundation.
Okay.
And, we started since 2018. It's going to be 5 years this year, doing work of impact. And, our mission is really to break down the barriers we see today that women face in getting access to technology, getting access to the internet. There is this huge gender gap that we see, especially in Africa and Nigeria.
Yeah.
Only 20% of women make up the tech, industry, and we want to see that equality. We want to bring it up to 50% at the very least, right? And we strive to, provide resources, mentorship. We have fellowship programs. We work with corporate partners to the government as well to provide programs that can, upskill women, enable women to break into tech. So that's essentially who we are and what we do.
Okay, so tech is quite, large. Tech
Yes.
is also a bit vague.
Yeah.
So what aspects of the tech space are you focusing on?
So I would say your core technical roles. So your software engineers,
Right.
your UX designers, your product managers. But also we're seeing a lot of women that are non-technical. So like your customer success marketing.
Right.
But they still work in the tech space, right? So now we're catering to women that are also non-technical but are interested in working in the tech space. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I want to ask what's the core for you? And the reason I'm asking that is it about equality or is it about giving everyone an equal opportunity?
Yeah.
I always say, I have this idea and I think this ideology that we can all strive for equal opportunities.
Yeah.
But I think that we're never really going to see an equality of outcomes because typically, everyone has different interests and hobbies and desires.
Yeah.
And if you gave everyone the desire and the will to choose what it is that they wanted to do, they may not choose what you think they're going to choose, or they may not even choose a path that you're designing for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me ask the question again, but in a different way.
Okay.
Do you have the interest in making, having that equal space of women and men in tech? Do you think it's a thing of interest that there are not enough women in tech? Or is it about culture? What are the barriers that you think are stopping women from being in tech?
I think it's both. That's a very good question. I think fundamentally, we've seen like your stereotypical attributes that women have even from a younger age. So I would say even growing up, we're kind of disadvantaged in the way we think and in the in sort of like our pursuits. What's the typical pursuits of a woman versus a man? Right. So thinking about that, I think we are disadvantaged in the numbers because of that, because of that mindset that we have. So we do have shortcomings in the numbers of women that, will eventually want to be in tech. But it's just a mindset thing. If, with WeTech, with other nonprofits that focus on, the tech industry, I think we need to change the narrative and tell women why it's important to be in this space, why it's important to be in tech, the impact of tech innovations, creativity,
Right.
I think it is a combination of the two things you said, and again, it's just that mindset shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I brought that up because,
Yeah.
when we're talking about, we want to make sure that everyone is equal and
Yeah.
whatnot,
Yeah.
but people don't really think about that ideology that,
Yeah.
look, if you give everyone the natural ability, choose what you like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's more about a mindset shift as
It
opposed
is.
to you can't be in this space because you can't do it. No,
Exactly.
you want to be in this space. So
Yeah.
I think it's now about creating the desire for them to want to be in this space.
Exactly.
That is where the mind
That's
shift.
the key.
And I think that's also
Yeah.
a mindset shift for you a little bit.
Yes, it
Just
is.
a little.
It is. But
Create the desire.
Yes, and that's what that's what we're trying to do, to just sort of
Awesome.
like infuse that into the mindset of women.
How important is it to have women in the design and technology space? How important do you think it is?
It's very important, especially with design. I think design is a very important aspect of tech. Everything that we see today, the apps, even here, this physical space, it was designed, in a certain way to speak to people, to speak about the brand in a certain way. So design in itself is like the first interface you'll see,
Right.
even before interacting with any other kind of back-end technology. So design on the client and on the front end side of things is so important because that's the thing that will influence you
Right.
to move forward with something. So we advocate for designers, we advocate for user experience researchers to understand again the importance of maybe even being inclusive
Right.
in your design, right? Not everybody,
So that it doesn't look just masculine. It doesn't look just
masculine or
just feminine. It has a bit of a touch
It
that
has-
appeals to both
to
sides.
both, and even
Right.
you have people that are not that are perhaps disabled, and you need to design for that as well to make it more accessible. Yeah.
The reason I bring that up is, look, we're both women
Yeah.
in tech,
Yeah.
in media,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And there is really this advocacy for more women in leadership, more women in technology, more women entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
more women in the business space.
Yep.
There's a lot of advocacy for that because of the feminine edge. That's what I like to call it. I call it a feminine edge because of the natural maternal instincts that a woman has, the nurturing instincts that a woman has, or that a female has.
Yeah.
When they come into a space where they can influence conversations and influence, design and influence applications and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like you almost sort of know when a woman's touch is involved
Yeah.
and when it's not.
Exactly. And I think we always need that. Like men, we both genders have, and other genders too, they have, each of us we have the thing that we bring to the table. And if you're just bringing one thing, that's not wrong. But if you bring two things, two
Right.
perspectives, well, guess what? You have more diversity. You have more of a chance of being a lot more creative and a lot more innovative versus just that one thing, right? So I don't know. Yeah.
So, final question I'm going to ask you is, if you are speaking to a woman that you're a lady that you're trying to bring into the tech space,
Yeah.
or somebody that's even in it,
Yeah.
trying to figure out, where do I go,
Yeah.
what sort of job do I do,
Yeah.
what's my path like, and whatnot, and they were sort of thinking to themselves, am I good enough?
Yeah.
Should I be here?
Yeah.
What would you say to them if they said to you, you know what, I want to be here, but I want to know how I'm going to find my
Yeah.
alpha and
Yeah.
be alpha
Yes.
in this space?
Yes, it might be overwhelming to be that person, to put your feet forward and ask questions. So not everybody's inquisitive, right? And if you're not the inquisitive type, just be very, very intentional about observing.
Right.
Right. Listen very intentionally. Pay attention, read the room, and then when you need to step up and ask that question, just go for it. Because everybody at the end of the day is looking for the same opportunity,
Yes.
the same thing.
Yes.
So no one's really like up here or lower here. We're all looking for the same opportunity. And if you do have that chance to speak with someone that's a lot more experienced, just go for it. Don't be afraid. I know it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than
But
done.
that's why I said it's good to just, listen, take it all in,
Yeah.
go back, retrospect, think about it, and then, you have access to women that can help you. Reach out to them, network with them, on, DM them, and see what happens. I think That's the key.
So I think I'm going to ask you one more question, and it's based off of what you've just said now about networking and connecting with other people with like minds.
Yeah.
How important is networking for creative people, for women, in whether you're in tech, whether you're in media, whether you're in the creative space?
Yeah.
How important is networking?
I mean, networking is everything. You can have 10 years of experience, but you're siloed up in your office. You can't move to the next thing because you don't have the right people beside you to help you move from one point to another, right? So networking is very essential. There's LinkedIn, of course. There's different communities, creative communities, tech communities. Just going to events. I'm here too. Like, just going to events, walking up to people, asking them about what they do, and see if it aligns with what you do.
Right.
See if it aligns with your values, right? And then, just grow your networks from there. It's so important. Like, that's your brand. Your network is your net worth.
Your network is your net worth.
Exactly. So, like, that's key right there. You
Right.
know, whenever you're going on to your next step, your opportunity, or looking for a job, or you just want to progress, go from point A to B, you're going to utilize your network. So it's very important.
Thank you so much for joining me on
You're
Find Your Alpha
welcome.
podcast. It's been an
you.
interesting conversation.
Yes.
I wish you all the best with your
Thank
conference.
you so much, Bukola.
Right? See
Yeah.
you in the next one then.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.